Hi there, my name's Alasdair Kennedy and I'm the social worker, and I give practical advice to social workers and those wanting to foster and adopt. In this video we're going to look at what adopted children think you should know. If you're an adopter or a social worker, stay tuned. Okay, let's get into it. So, what do adopted children think you should know? Well, I'm adopted, and here's what I think you should know. But also, this is taken from my Twitter feed as well, and from some of the clients that I've worked with, and some of the comments they've made over the years. I feel I was kind of lucky, I was really lucky to be placed with an amazing mum. Hiya, mum. And I have worked with some clients who've had good adoptions and bad adoptions. And there's some key things that they have always wanted people to know about what people should do or not do for adoptees. So let's find out some more. We all need to talk, but sometimes adoptees just don't want to talk. It might take us ages to trust you. It might even be that some memories are triggered by the way you're talking to us. Take your time when you want to talk to us. We've got our whole lives ahead of us if we're adopted. Although some adopted children might be chatty Cathys and chatty Chrissys, and it all depends on the child that you get. If we're badly behaved, it's not because we're adopted. So many children, young people and adults have tough times, we all do, but it doesn't mean that it's related to adoption. So many times I heard in primary school, mostly primary school, not so much high school, that it was just because you're adopted. Well, no, it was just because I was young and I was arguing, I was trying to act out, and I was sometimes just being a child. If you want to see it, wait till we're teenagers. Whew, there's trouble. Don't ever talk about our weight, our height, our foot size, how much we eat, how much we don't eat, our hair, our hairline, especially if we're young kids or teenagers and even into adulthood. You all know your genetics. You get it. You look to the left to your brother or your sister. You get it. We don't. We have no reference point of what we're going to be or who we're going to look like. And if we're adopted older, when you're a male or a female teenager, it's especially hard because you kind of wonder, you say, well, am I going to be tall? Will I have a hairy chest? Will I have a big willy? Will my plooks go away? I know it's not all genetics, but you get my point. Because we've got just no family reference points. So we don't need the negatives picked out upon. And it sneaks up on you as an adult too, because I'm getting older and I keep thinking to myself, will I go grey? Because I'm getting grey bits at the side, but I don't know because I've got no reference points. Am I going to get a big beer belly? Because I am getting a big beer belly, which was quite unusual because I don't drink. But you just don't know because you have no reference points. There's a reason we ask, where are you? Or what are you doing? When we are young and when we're older. My mum used to always say that whenever she left me for any length of time, I would go, Mama. I just couldn't be left, or I was following her around. Now, there's loads of social work theories, I know. But for us, who knows? It's just always there. It always has been. It's that nagging doubt that someone is going to leave you, that someone won't be there when you come back. It's kind of an ingrained thing. It's a strange thing. You can't really put it into words. You kind of know people will be there, but you just don't trust that they won't be, that they will be, if you get what I mean. Does that make sense? Yeah, I hope it does. Anyway. I hope it does. Anyway, and this is one point that it drives my wife crazy because she'll be in the house, and I'll always go, where are you? What are you doing? And she's like, oh, would you stop saying, what are you doing? I don't know if that's just all men do that or that's just a thing about being adopted. We can't all be as bright and as educated as you if you come from an educated family. For schools, sometimes adoptees, it's tough. It's really tough. Sometimes you can be bullied for being adopted. Someone at school once said to me, at least I know what sperm I come from. Although at the time that didn't really hurt because I didn't really understand what sperm meant. But So for example, I'm rotten at maths, absolutely rotten at maths. I can't do arithmetic in my head, but I can manage huge budgets, and I have managed huge budgets as long as they're all written down. But we can't always follow in our family's footsteps, and my family got really frustrated because I couldn't do fractions. Why don't you understand this? They used to say, and I just didn't get it, and I still don't get it to this day. It's just that I was different. And at school, making friends can be tough for people who are adopted. Is it down to adoption? I don't know. I don't have a single friend from school or from university that I've stayed in touch with. Is that strange? I don't know. Is it down to my adoption? I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm odd. Never ever make a joke about someone being adopted. Throughout our lives, adoptees, everybody jokes and laughs about being adopted, even in your own family, and they'll say things like maybe, I don't know, what's the one? Oh, E.T. phone home. Oh, E.T. phone home, where you left in a phone box. And everybody has a really good laugh. Not so much in my family, this was outside my family. Never say things in jest. It might be light-hearted, but it's really, really hurtful. We as adoptees need to know that you're okay with us seeing our birth parents, and you need to be doing that from an early age, telling us that it's okay. It's a huge anxiety for us and for all young people who finally take that leap and go and find their records in the records department of the local authority or the town hall, or they have to go somewhere to look at their original birth certificate. When I looked at my original birth certificate, it was quite nerve-wracking, and I was older. I think it was in my late 20s, and I was training to be a social worker, and I saw my mother's handwriting. I was convinced that the handwriting was shaky, so it was really quite traumatic. You need to be an active participant with the person. You know, we're going to be racked with guilt when we do things like that, even going to just pick up our birth certificate. If you can't handle it, just tell us, because at least you're being honest with us. But it's more important that you just kind of supportive, but it's more important that you are just supportive with us. Tell us all the time that we're adopted, and that goes back to one of my other videos when I talk about Mr. and Mrs. Fairweather and telling children how they're adopted. You can find the link below. We're going to search the world to find our birth parents, and it's even easier now with Google. In the old days, you had to go to places and pick up records and whatever. It's a lot easier. So, and it's the hardest thing in the world to do, and the most emotionally draining thing that we'll ever do, finding out about being adopted. So don't ever let us find out via grandparents or reading letters or going looking for Christmas presents and we find pictures or find bits of paper with our names written on it. No secrets. Make sure that we know we're loved. I don't mean overdo it, but sometimes just praise and love always. We need to hear it. We need to know why we were chosen by you. I don't mean in some weird kind of pet shop way where, oh, I like that puppy. But you know what I mean? That we were, in a previous video I talk about being special. Well, we are kind of special to you in a sense, and you're special to us. And that's what this, psychologists would say, and the social workers would say. And some people say we shouldn't say that children are special because it sets up expectations. But you are special to us, and we're special to you, and we need to know that. And finally, according to research, depends on what research you look at, we might end up having weird hobbies. We might end up being loners. We might not. When we're children, we might have strange nightmares. We might not sleep much. I know I did that. I had a lot of nightmares when I was a kid. We may not make friends easily. We may not like being in big crowds or family gatherings. And when we're older, we might make the wrong choices. Look, we all make the wrong choices when we're teenagers and then into our 20s. It doesn't mean that you're adopted. But research shows that adopted people are more likely to take drugs, to drink, to drive too fast, or to gamble. They are proven to have more risky lifestyles. I don't know. Maybe we've got more to prove, I guess. I don't know. So there you go, straight from the horse's mouth. Now, look, I'm adopted. I don't know everything. I don't have all the answers. I've spoken to people on Twitter and to clients, and these are the things that people have said that are important to them. So do you still think it's easy to adopt? Look, at the end of the day, we just need someone to love us, to have a warm and a happy home life, and someone to listen to us when we're sad or we're unhappy, and someone to celebrate our achievements with us. Whatever part of your journey in adoption you're in, I wish you the best of luck, and let me know in the comments how you've got on. If you're an adoptee, I hope you like this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, press the subscribe button, and if you want notifications on further videos, then ring the little bell, ding-a-ling-a-ling. Thanks a lot.